Princess Elara was unlike any child in the kingdom. While other children played with toys, she played with the breeze. She would sit by the palace terrace and call to the wind, watching it rustle leaves into shapes, a swan, a crown, a woman dancing in the air. Her mother had died when she was 6, leaving her with only memories and the haunting lullaby sung by the wind on the day of her birth. Her father, King Elderic, loved her fiercely, but his love made him protective. She had only one true friend, her maid and companion, Maris, a girl the same age as her, taken in by the palace after her mother died in famine. For years they were inseparable, sharing lessons, secrets, whispered dreams about princes and freedom. But envy is a quiet seed. And Maris, though she smiled, watered that seed every day. On the eve of Elara's 18th birthday, King Elderic called her to his study. "Elara," he said softly, "the time has come for you to forge an alliance. The kingdom of Erunder has requested your hand for their crown prince. This marriage will protect both our lands." Elara felt the wind hesitate around her. A warning. But she bowed her head with grace. "If this is what my kingdom needs, I will go." Prince Alden of Erunder was rumored to be kind, intelligent, and brave. Elara allowed hope to warm her heart. The wedding was planned to take place in Erunder. She was to leave in 3 days with a small escort. Her lady-in-waiting, Maris, and the palace guards. But what she didn't know was this. Maris had already written to Prince Alden, pretending to be the princess. And Prince Alden had written back. To Maris. Not to Elara. The journey began with bright skies. Elara rode her white mare, Lumi, with Maris beside her. The escort carried jewels, royal papers, and the magical token proving Elara's identity, the royal seal of Helena, a golden emblem shaped like a swan in flight. 2 days into the journey, they reached the Whispering Forest, where winds carried voices from the mountains. It was there that Maris showed her true heart. That night, while the guards slept, Maris approached the captain with a bag of golden coins stolen from the princess's chest. "Leave her," she told him. "Take me to Erunder instead. I will be queen soon, and reward you far more than this." Greed won. When dawn broke, Elara awoke to steel pressed against her throat. "Lady Maris," the captain said coldly, "orders have changed." Elara's world spun. Maris stepped forward wearing Elara's cloak, Elara's brooch, Elara's ring, every symbol of royalty. "Forgive me, Elara," she said sweetly. "I cannot return to a life where I am nothing. I deserve more. And who will know the difference? We grew up side by side. I can play the princess far better than you ever could." Elara whispered, "Maris, we were sisters." Maris's smile hardened. "No. You were a princess. I was a shadow." The guards dragged Elara into the forest. Maris rode on toward Erunder wearing the stolen seal of Helena. The forest winds howled with fury. They left Elara with nothing, no horse, no food, no cloak. Her royal gown tore as she wandered among the trees, and the cold bit through her skin. Hours passed. The sun died. She collapsed. But the winds never left her. They lifted leaves over her trembling body, warming her. They whispered. "Rise, child of the wind. Your destiny is not finished." When she awoke, she found herself at the edge of a farm, home to an elderly woman named Greta, who lived alone with her flock of gentle white geese. Greta nursed her back to health. "What is your name, child?" she asked. Elara hesitated. If Maris had claimed her identity, speaking the truth could lead to her death. "My name is Ella." Greta smiled warmly. "Then Ella you will be. Can you work?" Elara nodded. "Good. The geese need care. They're simple creatures. Honest. They never betray." Elara's heart twisted. Thus began her new life as the Goose Girl, Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Erundare, Maris arrived wearing the guise of Princess Elara. She was welcomed with feasts and music. Prince Alden found her bold, glittering, flirtatious, nothing like the gentle, wind-gifted princess he had heard about. But he dismissed his doubts. Beauty often hides thorns. Maris, now Princess Elara, demanded jewels, fine gowns, and the right to rule beside him. The true Elara was forgotten. Almost. For there was someone who knew the truth, the winds that blew over both kingdoms. And they were restless. Elara's days were humble. Each morning she led the geese to the river, speaking softly to them, earning their trust. She learned to mend fences, collect eggs, and bake bread. Her hands blistered, her back ached, but her spirit grew steady. The wind stayed with her, comforting her. One day, as she sat by the river watching the geese swim, she whispered. "Why did Maris betray me?" The wind rustled the reeds. Envy grows strongest in those closest to the light. Elara cried for the first time since her fall. But grief never stayed long with her. She was born of wind, forever moving, forever rising. One autumn morning, as Elara guided the geese toward the fields, she saw a young man riding a chestnut horse. He was dressed plainly, not like a noble, yet something in his bearing commanded respect. He paused when he saw her. "You handle those geese well," he said with a smile. "They are gentle creatures," she replied softly. "I'm Alden," he said. "A traveler." Elara's heart stumbled. She knew that name. But she kept her face calm. "And I am Ella." He rode beside her as she guided the flock. They talked about the weather, the river, the winds. He found her serenity soothing. She found his kindness warming. Yet neither spoke their truths. Alden visited often. He claimed he passed by only because the scenery was beautiful, but his eyes always drifted to her. Chapter 8, The Winds Reveal the Truth. One afternoon, a fierce storm swept across the fields. The geese scattered, terrified. Elara closed her eyes. "Please," she whispered to the wind. "Help me." A soft breeze pushed the geese together, guiding them safely home. When she opened her eyes, Alden stood behind her. Stunned. "You," spoke to the wind, he said in awe. Elara froze. Alden's voice softened. "Only one line in the world carries that magic. The royal line of Helinor." Her secret shattered like glass. He stepped closer. "Ella, who are you really?" She trembled. "I am the princess you should have married." Alden felt as if the earth had cracked beneath him. "Elara? The real Elara?" She nodded. Maris's lies flooded his mind. His fists clenched. "You must come with me. The court must know." But Elara shook her head. "Maris has the royal seal. She has the guards. She has the throne. If I return now, I will be killed as an impostor." Alden stepped closer, lowering his voice. "I swear on my kingdom, you will not face this alone." Elara's eyes glistened. "Then help me prove the truth." Together, Elara and Alden journeyed to Erundare in disguise. Greta wept when they left, giving Elara her warmest cloak. At the gates, Alden whispered to the guards. "This girl carries vital information. She must see the king." They were brought inside. In the great hall, Maris stood in a gleaming gown, wearing the swan-shaped royal seal around her neck. She smirked when she saw Elara. "So the goose girl finally crawls out of the mud." Elara stepped forward, head high. "I have returned to claim my name." The court erupted in murmurs. Maris laughed. "You have no proof. I am the princess, everyone knows that." Elara lifted her hand. And the wind obeyed. A fierce gust swept through the hall, swirling around her like a crown of air. It lifted her hair, rustled the tapestries, and bowed the torches. Only a true heir of Helinor possessed such magic. The courtiers dropped to their knees. Maris screamed, "No. No, she is nothing. I am the princess. I." But the wind ripped the false seal from her neck and carried it to Elara's hands. Maris fell to the floor. Her lies were dead. Maris begged for mercy. "I only wanted a life that wasn't empty. I loved you like a sister. I just wanted to matter." Elara looked at her for a long moment. Pain warred with pity. "You could have been anything," Elara said quietly. "But you chose betrayal." She turned to the king of Erunder. "Let her live. Let her work. Let her learn the value of an honest day. But never again allow her near power. Mercy, not vengeance." The court bowed. Alden looked at her with awe. The wedding between Princess Elara and Prince Alden was celebrated for 7 days and 7 nights. But more importantly, Elara reclaimed her identity, no longer a girl shaped by betrayal, but a woman shaped by resilience. She returned to Helinor with Alden by her side. The wind sang upon her coronation. "Rise, Queen Elara of Helinor. Child of the wind. Breaker of betrayal. Bearer of mercy." She ruled with justice, with kindness, with an open heart. As for the geese, they were brought to the palace gardens, where they lived in peace. Greta was given a warm cottage in the royal courtyard, where she baked bread for the entire court. Maris worked in a distant convent, learning humility at last. And the winds? They whispered the story to every corner of the earth. Of the princess who became a goose girl. And rose to become a queen. The end.